Well, I trust that people are good and that you guys you're fine wherever you are and you're winning in all that you're doing under the sun. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna have to continue sharing information and ensure that we've really catapulted the generation to the right height. My name is Andanyi Humphrey Blessings, and I speak many things. But I'm so concerned because recently I'm deviating towards a very very sensitive topic that makes most of you guys to really come to my inbox with all manner of questions. But it's okay. It's good to really challenge the people who are not yet affected, and also those who are affected. We challenge you so that you don't really continue. We have to stop on manner on some things you do. So we do these things for the sake of just improving the society and making it to behave in some manner that's supposed to be. So am I trying to say? Even as we take forward, you're supposed to be an intelligent person. You're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be somebody who knows what they need to achieve and where you're leading actually. Challenges will never be less. Challenges will always be more. And the beauty of having many challenges is that you have the capacity in you to, maneuver over the challenges. So there is nothing to worry about. The more challenges you face, the more able you are to face them. But you can also choose not to succeed in the challenges you're facing. But I want to address something very sensitive today, and I'm calling it the prostitutes at home, prostitutes in the house, in the homesteads. I know it's a hot one, and najua some of you mtanichukia bure for that, but it's true anyway. Okay, I'm a young person and I'm still growing, and I also have a life to live, and I speak with a lot of conviction because I know exactly what I'm saying. There are a lot of prostitutes that are being hosted in the houses in the name of husband or wife, and it's going to increase, and it's going to be more, simply because you guys, you've refused to be good people. You've refused to be people of integrity. You've refused to be people who can, control their feelings and control their decisions. You've become liars. You've become hypocrites. You've become charlatans. You've decided to be people who don't care. Parents have talked, um, church elders have spoken to you, teachers have spoken to you, people have talked to you, but I tell you for a fact, you don't listen. And that's why chances of marrying, getting married to a prostitute is very high. Initially, we used to define prostitutes as people who are on the street selling their bodies for money. Of course, I see a lot of them in Nairobi, and they are so confident. And I've talked to many of them, by the way. I am so daring. I wanted to know, why do they sell their bodies to people just like that? And most of those people, because prostitution is always associated with ladies, which is not true. We have male prostitutes who are actually, anybody who sleeps with a prostitute is actually a prostitute. But again, um, we have male prostitutes and female prostitutes. Only that male prostitutes don't expose themselves on the streets, but they come and pick the women from the streets, and they go and do whatever things they think they can do. I have talked to a number of them, and I was asking them, I wanted to know, like, what drives you? What is the all essence of this operation? Why should you do this? And how often do you do it? Then one of them told me that he has children. They have children. They are divorced from their marriages. They are looking for food for their kids, school fees and all this manner of things. So they have a problem. Majority of them, they have a problem that is pushing them to do that. Okay, but thank God that they are on the streets and they have accepted to be called that name. But most of you guys, I tell you for a fact, parents, you take your children to universities. Of course, they finish Form 4. I don't want to speak of the people below age 17, okay? I want to pick it up from age 17. A child finishes Form 4 at 17. A parent, or whichever you are, a guardian or whatever, you choose to now expose the kid to the public. It begins by one, you finish KCSE. Now, secondly, sorry for that. Let me take you to computer training. Let me take you to church. You become a leader in church. You join choir. So you can go to church without the supervision of your parents. You go to the computer studies without the supervision of your parents. Some of the parents take you to their businesses, so you can spend on the business in the absentia. So you start to engage with the society in a primary personal manner. This exposes you to information, or rather, it gives you a chance to practice the information that you used to know when you were in school and those you've watched on TV or social media. So you start to engage, and I don't know what's the problem. Why is it that you just have to start with love? By the way, you kids that you're growing, why is it that you just have to start with love? Why can't you start with, innovation, business ideas and this other man of stuff? You just start with sex and love, okay? Like most of you, after school, the first area to explore is romance, and you explore it with wrong people, and that's why your first primary love doesn't last, because you are exploring it with wrong people. I tell you, no matter how much they tell you sweet words, no matter how much they speak to you nicely, it will not last. It will just end at some point. And if your primary love will lead to a marriage, it will come with another type of problem, which I'm going to discuss with you later. But I speak without a conviction. My wisdom is not earthly wisdom. There's no school that can produce me. There's no professor. There is no intellectual under the sun who can produce me. My wisdom comes from God. God wants people to get informed. God wants people to get information of a particular crescent, a particular like information that is highly selective, so that we can have few people who are excellent under the sun. There are many people with first class, with big houses, big prados, big cars, and all this amount of things, but they're not enjoying life because they miss a bit of the game. The bit of the game is that the spiritual angle is not neat. Okay? And that's why most of you still also stammering and struggling, because the spiritual angle is not neat, and you go forth, engaging on all this amount of things. I was giving you a synopsis, how things happen. So this kid goes to the society, and then they get a boyfriend. They call each other all manner of things: my future what, my love whatever, my whatever. All these names you give to these people you meet on the streets. Then that will lead to you engaging into romantic issues, and you start making love as early as it can. Then after the primary sex, which I really want you to be, and if you're honest with yourself, I know you'll know, and you know what I mean. After the primary sex, for both men and female, you get loose for multiple sexual relationships. If you will not get somebody who is substantive, that you can settle and think critically, or if your principles are not so strong, you're likely going to be somebody who is neither here or there. Okay? And then most of you get into the tertiary level, be it a college or university. I don't want to dispute the fact that there are good people in the universities and colleges, but majority of students who get to the universities and colleges, they engage into a lot of sexual relationships. Now, give me a clear difference between somebody who engage in sexual relationships in an enclosed system and those who do it on the streets. It's just the same and the same thing. The only difference that somebody has not told you that you're a prostitute in a house or in an enclosed system. You're just a prostitute in a house, in a closed system. And the end of that is that when you get into a marriage level, when you want to get married, chances are that your partner is going to marry a prostitute in the name of a church girl or a graduate or an employee of a particular company. And these things are happening. See, for a fact, with evidence, I have it and I can produce. Many of the women and husbands that are married, they are still playing sex with people outside there. They make love into the cars, in the offices, in the lodges, and they still come home. And they pretend point blank into your eyes that they are neat. Some of the people that are already in marriages, they divorce because they realize that their partners are playing them out here. Well, these things don't want to be spoken about. People want to go into media, onto TV, and to tell us philosophies. And the beauty of mentorship and counseling and guidance is that when you're a victim, it will not affect us. Like, okay, peana motivation and you're a victim, chances of changing the person are very minimal. Okay, utaongea kwa sababu your mind knows what to say. You've read from the internet, you've prepared slides, but transforming somebody needs a spiritual connection. So it's like pulling somebody from addiction. You have to go to their spirit. You have to. It's an it is within them. Okay, it is within their system. So it has to flow. It has to connect. So if you are pretending, it will not connect. That's the danger. That's why many motivation speakers do not produce good people. There are very few motivation speakers, counselors, and mentors who produce people who are great because they are role models in the operation. Again, it's a challenge we face by the in the industry because you're also human beings. You know, you have to fight these things, you have to engage with these things, and you also have to date, you have to make love, blah blah. So it becomes a bit challenging. But at the end of the day, these are sensitive information. So I pity you people. I pity you because you're joking. You think you're doing it for fun, the way you put it. You think you're doing it for pleasure, and you don't want to listen to good information. You want to listen to comedy. You want to listen to. You will get there, young people. You get there. Yesterday you get married. You will not survive. You'll be jealousy. You'll fight your partner because they are cheating on you. People will date in your house. People will sleep in your bed who are not the owners of that house simply because you've been a fool for a very long time. You don't want to listen. You don't want to change. You want to stick into the wrong things. They will hurt you. Makumi, peer influence. People close to you will always, push you to do things. But one day they'll not be there, trust me. Most of your friends who push you to do wrong things, they will not be there in your future. You're going to face the future alone. You're going to go into the issues of the future alone. You're going to face the challenges alone. So you need to start practicing making decisions alone. You need to start thinking critically. You need to start behaving in a manner that is excellent. Because at the end of the day, it is you and you and you alone. So you have to start thinking in a manner that is smart, in a manner that is excellent to the end of time, I tell you. So parents, you play a very big role in spoiling your children because one, you've not sat with them down and talk to them and show them what is wrong and what's right. You fear your children. What's wrong with you? These 21st century parents are useless parents. You fear your children, you fear everything because again, most of them, they are victims. That's why they cannot just boldly speak to their child or children and say things because they know they are victims. They did that and they're still doing it. That's why a parent is competing with their children in dating and making love to the society. I tell you for a fact, some of you men, you go to work, you are girl in the house, you left in the house as a wife, date people in the plots and in the entire society, sleeps around with everybody in the society. You women, I tell you, you go to work, you leave your man at home, he goes on, jig-jagging into people's houses, making love with those women, useless, careless women in the society. Some are single, some are divorced, some are HIV infected, some are all these diseases come into your house. So prostitution has moved from the street to the homesteads. Most of the houses, couples are prostitutes, I tell you. Only that they are not pinpointed in Koinange or in some place. Prostitution simply means, engaging in uncontrolled sex and with multiple people. Again, that is happening with most of you in suits and in good wearings. Then you're lying, then you delete messages, then you put passwords, then you're like, oh my goodness, you do all this man of things, then you come and pretend. So ironically, that most people who do these things are spiritually maneuvered. They are born again and they're on church on Sunday. And that's how you've made the church of God to look as a place where just anybody can go in. And I tell you, how do you gauge facts and factual? You just weigh the confidence of somebody. If you're not confident enough and you're not there to colloid on these issues, then there are chances that you are not doing the right things. So I pity you guys. Mutaitana majina, sweetheart, babes, blah blah blah. You'll give each other gifts, but this person has a taste and a flavor of multiple sexual relationships. They will not settle with you alone. You like it or not. Now the disadvantage is when you start your relationship, somebody can lie to you and say, I've only dated one person to take care of why you're not virgin and why you're not virile. They say, I have only dated one person. It's more easy to prove with women than men. Men will also say, I know, just to mean, why are you 25 and you've not dated before? So they say, I've only dated 3, sijui moja ilikuwaje, another one was like this. Then the ladies say the same thing. But in reality, my goodness, this person has kissed close to 400 people. This person has slept close to 100 people. I tell you, these things happen. And it happens even in the school environments, the university, the colleges. Those guys speak a lot of English, they create programs, but it doesn't help the students because these things are spiritually maneuvered. They have a spiritual force. The devil also wants to win souls, The devil has his space on the wall. He wants to sort of get his people as well. So you guys, as much as you think you're doing it well, that's how wrong you get. Because you think you will change someday. To some of you think you're revenging. But now the disadvantage again is one. Okay? You will have one experience, you will stop dating. But the person you'll marry is continuing to date. Okay? So there are possibility of mismatch. One person is honest and safe. The other person is a crook and a useless fella, sleeping with anything they find in their ways, doing homosexuality, lesbianism, masturbation, pornography watching, and all this amount of things. All the hell of time, smoking, taking alcohol, spending in parties, and all this. Then you here protecting yourself, saying you want to be a good person. Then your partner is messing. Then at a point of convergence, hii ujinga mwache that I will just I understand you. I'll forgive your past. I won't judge your past. You will judge it. Your system will respond to it. I know there is a concept of spiritual people should forgive, blah blah. God forgives you. You're born again. You become neat. Yes, it is true. It can work exactly like that. But most of you, you've not yet defined the values, the standards of salvation. So still, you're swimming in muddy waters, and that is the problem. That's the problem, I tell you. Me, I'll speak and say it as it is because God has appointed me to speak these matters and, of course, to be safe of myself and continue to nurture one or two people because most people are ignorant. They don't listen. The good thing is that you're going to face it, and the good thing is that is you will divorce. The good thing is that is you will raise your children alone. The good thing is that is you will lack the employment. The good thing is that is you will carry the diseases. Is you will bury before age, before 80. I mean, it's still an argument. I mean, if you want, if you don't want, the beauty is you're going to face it. You're going to be a victim. So you have to be smart. You have to be sensitive. You have to be intelligent. Okay? So prostitution is all over. I mean, you guys, you're marrying prostitutes. I mean, with all your English, with all your certificates, with all your everything. You're going to find a prostitute. Unakaa hivi kwa nyumba, like somebody's cooking. Oh my goodness, a prostitute is cooking in your house. Somebody's watching a TV. A prostitute is watching a TV in your house. I mean, these things do happen. Churches will tell you. Your parents will tell you. And if they don't, I will tell you. And if you don't want to listen, yes, you're going to face it. These things are realities. The danger is they come with its own powers and spirits in your house. So it can also transfer to your children. Then the whole generation will be spoiled. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's just so bad. It's just so ethical. I mean, You need to find a way of really maneuvering and improving on yourself, um, and trying to see how best you're gonna deal with this issue. Okay, I know some of you may want now to ask me, like, how do you tell somebody has played multiple relationships and they're not virgin and you're dating them? By the I don't know which question do you ask your girls and boys when you meet them for the first time. Do you ask them, are you virgin? Have you dated anyone? Which question do you ask, by the way? You ask questions that are attributed towards satisfaction, and that's why most of you who are in an end tuna sex, like, you date for 1 month, you sleep, you make love, and it's over. You start another one, it's over, because you don't have ambitions, you don't respect yourself, you don't have a future, you don't care, you just neither here or there, you are just a useless thing. You are not, see, when you speak somebody like you're mocking us, you're not supposed to mock, you're supposed to encourage it, which you are good before you started this mess. It is not about soft talk, it's about realities, and we're gonna tell you the truth. Yes, there is a solution. We're gonna discuss it. There is a solution. There is a way to move from that lifestyle to a better lifestyle, but it will cost you. You have to go through the penalty. Motivation speakers tend to entice you people, want to pack them after. Your preachers tend to tell you there is hope, there is future, God is faithful, God is forgiving. They tell you it is true what they say, but you must face the penalty of the wrong things you've done. The penalty is there. And every wrong move you take, you're gonna face the penalty. You like it or not, it may come tomorrow, it may come after 10 years, it may come after 100 years. The penalty is there. When you swing to the salvation and you become a good kid and you become a saved person properly, the penalty can be waived. It can be waived. I tell you, it can be waived. It can be removed from reaching to you. So it is you to decide which direction you want to conglomerate to and which issues you want to engage with. Okay? So somebody may want to know, like, sir, this my girl has been in campus, and by the way, this fear these people call campus kids. Okay? They are good kids in campus, but fear campus kids. They misbehave a lot, and parents don't know. So you're a parent at home, a child comes during a long holiday, you don't know how many people he has slept with. But the truth of the matter is that he has slept with 1,001. Well, there was an argument from someone who was saying, what if you just sleep with one person many, many times? Again, you're losing your value. If that relationship is not well anchored, it will just end, because familiarity will come in. The person will lose your taste and flavor, and you'll just lose one another. Now, the disadvantage that we have is that many people in leadership, in authority, they have gone through this mess, this hell of life. Many people in the media stations, they have gone through all this hell of life. So wamelala na watu wengi sana. So they are not going to help you. You know, when you speak about a subject and you are a victim, there's a way you cannot harm it. There's a way you will protect it, indirectly or directly. So that's why many people who are in the public domain, who can give the right content, they are victims. And that's why they go on defending mistakes, painting here and there, and all this manner of things. So we have to be very, very smart, okay? So how do you tell your partner has slept with many people? Even they will not tell you. They will lie. Now, the solution is not on your partner. I want to make the solution be on you, because chances of getting a partner who is truthful and transparent are very minimal, okay? But you can become truthful and transparent. So even if each one of us becomes truthful and transparent, then we're going to increase the population of honest men and women in the community, okay? Now, chances of merging two people who are honest and innocent will increase. Then we can also transfer this to our children. So we raise our children in a manner that they are honest and transparent. I normally ask a simple question to men or women, like, I have a forum for women and I have a forum for men for PIMAC, Men's Association of Kenya, the National Mentorship and Counseling Organization. So I normally ask, will you like your child to use you as a role model, or to use someone else. And by the way, if your child cannot use you as a role model, then you fail as a parent. If your daughter can't be like you fail like a mother. If your son can't be like you fail like a father. And I tell people also, the greatest investment and inheritance for your children is a chance to go to heaven. And the greatest gift you can ever give to your family is time. These things are realistic, but you guys, you want to watch on YouTube tactics to do what, tactics to detect what, tactics to. They're all over. But those guys on YouTube, they just give you their opinion. And that's why when you listen to my messages very well, my message is neither an opinion or an idea or a formula. My message is to groom a person. Okay? To become somebody, the better version of themselves, using the resources they have, the mindset they carry, the abilities they have, and the experience they have. So I am molding you using what you have, the available resources and the available experience. So it is quite more prudent, more real, more productive than coming and tell you, you know what, stop this, try this, stop this, reach here, turn east. That may not happen. So I nurture people based on who they are and what they need to become. And that is it. And that's why in each video, at least I get one or two people who come, then we have a further engagement. And that's my achievement. My mission is just to change one person. So you guys, mwache kukuwa so confident sana na story. I know there are people who go to parties, they go to pubs, they go they take alcohol, they smoke together with the wife, the husband. Their parents who have fridges of alcohol in the house, they have introduced their children to the alcohol, and they still go to church on Sunday. You are a useless family, I tell you, useless. You are a useless father. Actually, you fail, and a useless mother for that matter, because you are already creating a wrong generation. Then you go to church and you give tithe, offering, you pray. What are you telling us, for God's sake? You are just misleading. I know there is power to choose, and I don't know why God allowed us to choose everything. I think there are things that could be compulsory, and then we choose some. I mean, we choose everything. We choose all man, even to believe in God, you have to choose. I mean, God allowed us to choose. And that is what is distinguishing the rich from the poor. And that's distinguishing the rich good people and the rich bad people, the poor good people and the poor bad people. And all this man of things you see under the sun is because there is power of choice. And if you are smart enough, you're gonna make right choices. You're gonna choose wisely. You're gonna be intelligent. You're gonna be smart. You're gonna do great things. You're gonna be successful. You're gonna have a happy marriage. You're gonna do all this man of things. So it is in order, by the way. There are people who say the truth. You realize somebody will tell you, I dated one person, he messed with my virginity, he left me, but I've not dated him since. You'll get that type of people. The person will tell you, I've dated one person, one lady, my primal love, I lost my virility, and I've not dated someone else. Or I dated someone else. There are people who speak the truth. So if you get someone who talks the truth, then that's a good investment. You can bank on that quality. Then you can adjust yourself and develop new sets of principles, new sets of relationships, new sets of agreements. Then you push forward. Then you produce a marriage. Okay? But know that every day comes with its own challenges. Then understand that you have to learn new things. You have to behave in a new manner. You have to increase in a new things as we move forward. So we're going to have the universe of prostitutes, the country of prostitutes, the county of prostitutes. You're going to have an employment setup where from the manager, the CEO, the MD, to the rest of the employees, they're all prostitutes. They're just messing sexually in that work environment. They pass by in some place. And that's why most of you guys, your husband are taking out their sexual partners in late evening dinner. They come home, they don't eat the food you prepared for them, they don't take, they come late, they lie to you that they had a meeting, blah blah blah. All these things are happening and you're clapping your hands. Your wife comes late at 9, they left job at 4:30, he arrives at night at 9:30, he's passed some lodging, they have done 1 2 3 4 5 rounds, they come home late. Oh my goodness, what should we do? Things are crazy. Sometimes you speak like this, like, I fear just to get married. I fear. I just say like, oh my God, I just fear people. Because at the end of the day, you are protective. You reserve yourself. Don't worry about who judge you wrongly. That's another case. We'll talk about it. There are people who misjudge you. But there are people who speak about what you really do. Like, you know yourself, right? Yes. So I'm talking about this scenario whereby you know the wrongs you're doing. When people are misjudging you, that's a totally different case. So we can negotiate it. But when people speak of what you do, or rather, what you do, people even don't know, but you know you do wrong things. That's what I'm talking about. So sometimes we just fear, oh my goodness, we'll be like, oh God, what should we do? Because children nowadays, 5 years, they already know about kissing. They already know about wrong things. And you parents, you don't know. You've gone to your kibanda, your shop, your job. You think you've left your kids with your employees. They have Wi-Fi in the house. They Google all manner of things using their cousins' phones, using the laptops you've left in the house. They watch pornography. They watch all manner of things. I mean, there is so much hell of a time in this generation. I don't know even what to say. So marriages should be feared, even if it's through a wedding ring. I tell you, marriages is something to fear. Marriages is something you have to go slow. Marriages nowadays is a scam, but still we have good marriages. The question is, will you tune the right marriage? When you're doing all this man of things, the way I love the world is by the way, it has a way of freely paying you. Hata ukifanya vitu mbaya in the campus and every place, remember that you only attract your type. So the type of man you will eventually get married to is also a liar and a fornicator and a prostitute like you and somebody of that nature. You will find somebody now telling me, hey Humphrey, you're calling everybody prostitute. Yeah, they are. Trust me. They are. They need to repent and get out of it. People are prostitute, old and young. They sleep with anything. You go in the dictionary and define prostitution first before you question and point a finger on me. Prostitution is clearly defined. People are messing socially, and it's becoming okay. It's becoming live. It's becoming real, and it will come to a point in life. Children will sleep with their parents. It is there, but it's not yet out. It's going to be out here. Rules are going to be created. We'll get some few prostitutes in the parliament. They will pass laws to support these things. They'll make it a law into these governments. There are countries I don't want to mention in the world that are already legalizing homosexuality, legalizing all this man of things. Again, I tell you, children are going to sleep with their parents. Parents are going to sleep with their children, make love. Children's brothers and sisters are going to make love. It's already happening with cousins so easily and so well. Yes, that's the country you're living and the world you're living in. So how then can you that you're good? Because I know there are police who are very good and very honest and very transparent. Should you try or don't try? I tell you, honest here, looking at me, your partner somewhere, the person who marry you, as we speak now, is sleeping with somebody. They are somewhere partying, taking alcohol and mirror and bank and all this. So how do you surge into the right person? Because at the end of the day, at times you say that people change. Yes, they do change. People change. People change. But must you go through hell so that you can change? Why can't you just maintain, the good you to the end of time? Parents have failed. And you don't need to be a failure as a parent in future, or those who are still parents and you're young. You have to find a way of really ensuring your children have grown well in the right manners to the end of time. I just want you to be neat in your doings. Okay? So, if you ask me, some of the things I was trying to analyze, and I think they can really work, it includes you becoming the version that is the best of you. Okay? The world has a way of paying you for your doings. So you become the best version of yourself. Like, are you comfortable? Can you marry yourself? Can you host yourself? If you're comfortable, then the atmosphere of the universe has a way of rewarding you with a good person or somebody close to what you really wanted, then you can take care of the rest. So the main assignment is that the characters you portray, you practice, you learn, you are likely going to attract somebody of similar traits. I know they teach you on seminars and on functions that you look for somebody who is opposite of you. That mathematics doesn't apply anywhere on earth. You can get them, but they will pretend. By the time you realize you're 3 years in marriage with children and the person is not exactly what you wanted, they have now exposed their true characters and behaviors. Now you have to divorce. You thank God for you that you've lost people who are stubborn before you got married, because they could have become more stubborn into your marriages. So I speak out of a genuine heart. I give my honest opinion, and I call it as it is. And there's no wisdom under the sun that can analyze this. There's no indexing that can gauge me. The point is, prostitution has moved from the streets to the homesteads, and parents of these generations, they are prostitutes. They sleep with anything they find on their way. They are so gluttonous. They are so greedy for sex. Their lust is on another level. They rather spend all their money to get sex. They gonna buy it. Oh my goodness, it's happening at home. Then they delete messages, then they do all this man of things, then they call you sweet names. Unasikia ukito, babe come tupike. That's a prostitute calling you to cook. Oh babe, come to tembe. Hey, yes, the prostitute is calling you to go and work. These things happen, but they lie, they hide it, they play white when it's not white. So I like that you guys, you be careful in making decisions for marriage. You be careful in making decisions for your future, because your decisions are going to hurt you. Go slow in these multiple relationships you do in school. Go slow in these multiple sex relationships you do in school. Go slow in these so-called two boys you stuck to in the name of unatafuta yule best. Go slow into these girls you've really hold into your phone in the name of looking for the best. They are building new characters and behavior that it will be very difficult to extract. And that behavior will hold your marriage into bondage. You will divorce, you will marry again, you will divorce, you will marry again, you will be divorced. And you're going to hold your children into a lot of issues. You're going to co-parent, you're going to do all this amount of things. So be neat, be smart, and be real. And those of you who changed, congratulations. Those of you that you had bad manners and you became good people, congratulations. Those of you that you slept with many people, now you're faithful in your marriage, congratulations. And those of you that you are faithful in your marriage, now you want to start to cheat now, congratulations. Because that's the wrong move you want to take. So we have to be careful. You have to be smart. You have to go slow. You have to be yourself. You have to be neat in your thinking, and just be yourself. But again, I'm not that type of motivation speaker to really dictate your moves. For those who don't want to listen, please continue. All right, because at the end of the day, you're just going to face it. It's not so long. For those who want to listen, please change, because you can really change and become perfect of the perfects. And I want you to understand that you will attract your type. So the more perfect you become, the more your magnet starts to attract the right people. You're going to attract somebody exactly your type in terms of morals and the software of love. But hizi vitu zingine anaweza kuwa ako introvert, ako extrovert, blah blah. But in terms of the honesty, transparency, loyalty, faithfulness, you're going to attract your type. And if you're a playgirl, a cheater, a liar, you're going to attract your type. But I pray that you get to understand these things. It is more spiritual than physical. And we're going to talk about that in the next clip. It is more spiritual than physical. Some of you, it's not your fault. It's the name you're carrying. You're named after somebody who used to do a lot of sex with animals, with everything. Some of you are named after somebody who used to take a lot of alcohol. Somebody who was so bitter, short-tempered. And that's why the issues are following you. You are always fighting your wife, your girlfriends, It's not your problem. It's a spiritual problem. It's generational curses. They're altars. We're going to talk about them so that you understand what's the genesis of your problem. Because you cannot change until you understand the genesis of your problem. Peer influence plays a very small role in this operation. It is more likely you are just inborn behaviors, genetic inheritance problems, um, generational curses, and all these kind of things, and altars in your generation or spiritual possession. So all this adds up to push you to wrong things. And we're going to see how best you're going to start pulling back from these behaviors. Unakuta mtu analala na watu afeel hata isichoka, you sleep with 1,000 people, just that's just a number, like many people, that's what I was trying to mean. And then you're not feeling it, you're just courageous, you're just fine, just it's okay. That's not you, by the way. You're possessed. There's a spirit in you. There is an issue you're naming. There is there is a situation. It's a force that comes from inside. Okay, if you can't feel guilty of some wrongs you do, it's beyond peer influence. It's a spiritual force. It's a spiritual effect. Okay, but because you like to use English and Swahili to argue manners of salvation and spiritual issues, that's you continue arguing. But you like it or not, you'll face it. You'll not enjoy life. You'll have money. You'll not enjoy. You'll have a mansion. You'll not spend there. You'll have cars. You never use it. Your husband is coming late with it, going very early. You'll just be pretending to please people around you. But at the end of the day, life is bad. Life is bad. Life is bad. And you are not going to run from it. You will not tell us. We may never know, but you will know because you'll be there. So it's quite important for you to start gauging, understanding, rearranging, adjusting yourself for the better tomorrow. Okay? So we'll catch up in the next talk as we see how do you start pulling back, adjusting, moving from sexual addiction to free sex, like from sexual addiction to a free life. And then we see how best you can now attract somebody who can be able to save you. Then those who've not tried sex before will also talk, and those who've done it and it's once and you've lost it will also talk, so that we see how best we're going to help one another. Okay? Alright, so you have a lovely time, and may God bless you and continue winning wherever you are. Bye bye.